All right, guys and gals, this is Kevin with RotoHeat, back to talk to you about some injuries that may impact your Week 1 lineup. Now, Week 1, so not many players have gone through the gauntlet and been really banged up too much. There's been some lingering issues throughout the preseason. Most of the guys have been clear, but there's some guys that may miss. We'll start up with the quarterbacks. Obviously, the biggest name in the quarterbacks is going to be Cam Newton. He's got pulled from that game. They said that if it was regular season, he probably would have gone. They just were precautionary. He should be good to go Week 1. Start him. He's locked in QB1 with a good floor. The only other quarterback that has any issues is Drew Lock as a backup. It only really affects Joe Flacco's startability if you were actually digging that deep, mainly in 2 QB super flex leagues. The only time you're going to want to go down as far as Flacco, but this way, at least you know for half the season, Lock's on the IR. I don't even think they have signed a backup yet to where they have another healthy quarterback on their roster. So Flacco's going to be the quarterback there for at least the first 8 weeks of the season. Moving on to running backs, we have had 2 in the last couple weeks that have gone out for the season. McKinnon has officially been put on IR, so he's out. It's a tough break there. He had all the hype last offseason, and now he's missed the last 2 years. It's pretty much done there, probably. They're talking about Tevin Coleman and Matt Breida. There's been a lot of talk about Breida being listed as the RB1 on the unofficial depth chart, but I've seen a lot more talk about Coleman and him splitting about 60-40 in favor of Coleman. So there's kind of a toss-up there. I think they're going to probably ride the hot hand, whoever ends up playing the best. So both those guys are going to be worth starting at least Week 1, in my opinion, and you can kind of judge on their usage after that. And the other one was obviously a week ago, Lamar Miller is out for the year as well. They did trade for Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson was getting a lot of hype before Hyde got signed there. Hyde's going to probably be about what Lamar Miller was, maybe a little less, but he's going to handle a lot of the early down roll, and Duke is probably going to be sprinkled in there a lot. He'll get a lot of touches. They'll probably use him in a lot of versatile roles. Both will probably be startable. I don't know about Hyde too much, but I don't have much confidence in starting Hyde, but I'd feel comfortable with flexing Duke for sure. I think they'll make sure that they get the ball in his hands. And then it's going to be a play on Week 1 to see how much they actually will utilize Hyde on early down rolls, if they do as much. Kenyon Drake was getting held out for a lot of the preseason, so there's a lot of Balaj hype, but looks like Drake's going to be healthy with that foot. He's listed as the number 1 on the depth chart, so all you Balaj truthers kind of just took a big blow, but honestly, Drake should be or can be good, but it's still Miami, so it's hard to trust starting Drake, but he's definitely startable, especially in a flex. Derrick Henry is another one that was held out for a while. Looks like he's good to go. He'll be starting with his calf. He's had that issue with his calf. Moving on to wide receivers. You still have the big name that's out is AJ Green, as we all know. They said the earliest he's probably going to be back is Week 3, best case scenario. He's definitely worth having on your bench as a stash until he's healthy, because when he is healthy, he's top end wide receiver. He'll produce and win you a week easily. So he's definitely worth a stash and wait to see. Tyler Boyd's going to be the main beneficiary there, although it did seem like he did better with AJ Green on the field. He's still going to be worth starting and be in your lineup just for pure volume, because Cincinnati sucks. So they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. Even though Dalton's throwing the ball, it's still a volume play there. Julio has been having that foot issue for like 7 years, something like that, but he always plays and he's always awesome. So you fire him up, he's healthy, good to go. Keenan Allen looks like he's going to be healthy, ready to play Week 1. Cooper has been held out. They said that he is on track to play Week 1. If he is, fire him up. You're either going to get a boom or a bust with him. He's either going to light it up or he's going to crap the bed like he usually does. I think we know what he is now. Julian Edelman, they've been holding him out with his finger. I think that was more a precautionary thing. At least that's what they were saying. He played in Week 4 just for a few snaps to kind of get him in the game shape, and he looked good. He's fire him up. He's good to go. Robbie Anderson has had that lingering calf injury issue, and they said that he's on track to play week 1. I wouldn't feel bad about playing him either. He's definitely fire him up as their wide receiver 3 flex, maybe even a 2 if you went heavy on the running backs for a while. Dante Pettis. So this is more than just an injury issue. He said they played him all 4 quarters of that preseason game, and turned out he had like a groin issue afterwards. He's listed as their number 1 wide receiver on their depth chart, and they said it was more of a motivational thing, but he just did not look good. I think I personally have a feeling that he's going to be fine. He's going to be a good value in the draft because he's been slipping ever since that that's the 4 quarters that he played in the preseason. Everyone's just pushed him down really far. But if he turns out to end up being the number 1 wide receiver in there, I know Garoppolo started to look a little bit better towards the end of preseason. He could be a really good sleeper in there. Good one's going to be your deep guy, and then they seem to have no one else down there that they want. Everyone else is pushed down the depth chart. Keke Coutee, that's another one that's could end up being a bust for the year, but I think he can be a good sleeper as well. With the Kenny Stills trade, a lot of guys pushed him down thinking that Stills is going to take over. Depth chart came out and looks like Stills is behind Will Fuller on the depth chart, as in like as in his backup. But there's nothing saying that he can't try to take over that slot role from Coutee, especially because Coutee has lingering issues from last year. He's going to be an injury risk all year, but if he plays the slot receiver for Deshaun Watson, is going to be very valuable, and I think he'll be pretty good. DK Metcalf, last receiver, talk about, he had that knee procedure, and it looks like he's a full go. It looks like he's fired up. Pete Carroll says he's looking awesome. So it's really hard to trust a rookie wide receiver, especially to start the season week 1. You have no idea how they're going to do in the NFL. It looks like he has the most possibility of producing right away as a rookie wide receiver, as opposed to all the other ones. The other one we can talk about, Nikhil Harry, he's on IR as well. He just was banged up all preseason, just multiple injuries. They said that he's potentially going to come back halfway through the year. Might just be a redshirt year for Nikhil Harry. Kind of a bummer for those guys that drafted him 1.01 for rookie drafts, but you never know, he may come back and just needed those 8 weeks and be healthy and plug them in. Move on to tight ends. Very sad. Jordan Reed. No shocker to anybody, but he had another concussion. 7th one, 7 concussions. He seems to be wanting to come back, and I don't know. 7 concussions, that's way too much of an injury risk. That's way too frequent of getting concussions. He's off my draft board. I don't even want to try to hold him. Tight ends are so versatile, they're so volatile that you can get a replacement. Anyone else on waivers is going to probably produce throughout the year as much as Reed would. If you're down to Jordan Reed for your tight ends and he's your starting tight end, you're going to probably want to be streaming all year anyway. Try to trade for one or something, but Reed's not probably going to be reliable. Vernon Davis is going to fill in once again. He might be streamable here or there. He gets those boom weeks where he might get a couple touchdowns. It's going to be just as unpredictable as the rest of the tight end field. Trey Burton is another one. If you were starting Trey Burton, same thought. He's got an injury, may miss week 1. They said he may come back, or he may be healthy enough for week 1, may not be. Either way, Adam Shaheen's his backup. You're not going to want to start Adam Shaheen. So look for other places on the waiver wire. And hopefully you weren't having Trey Burton as your number 1 tight end. Jimmy Graham, same thing. Hopefully he's not your number 1 tight end, but some people believe in him. His finger is healthy and he's good to go as Aaron Rodgers' tight end. So they put Jace Sternberger on the IR, so he's pretty much there himself. He's not going to worry about that rookie for a while to come in and take snaps from him. So that'll be it. That'll wrap it up for your week 1 injury recap report. Again, I'm Kevin Pons. Follow me at RotoHeat Pons on Twitter, and make sure you check out RotoHeat.com And find us over on Facebook, RotoHeat. It's a Dynasty community. And we also have our redraft page too. Any start-sit questions, any trade questions, put up a poll. You'll get instant feedback. It's a really good community. Over 1,000 people on that page, and they will get back to you. And you'll have a bunch of feedback, including us, the producers for this website. Again, Kevin Pons, thanks for listening, guys.
Don't forget, make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any more fantasy football content from the RotoHeat.com team. Also, right there, playlist. Hit it. Watch the videos. Do it. You want to. Do it.